Alright guys, I'm back with another video. Today we're making skillet potatoes. And first you want to have some, I have 4 potatoes here. I cut them up. I peeled them, I cut them up, and I diced them into little cube sizes. You're going to need garlic powder, oregano, onion powder, chili powder, some Italian seasoning. I cut up a small red onion, 1 bell pepper, 1 green bell pepper. You need some sunflower oil. You can use sunflower oil, canola oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, any of your healthy choices of oil. You need some ketchup. Alright, I minced up 4 to 5 garlic cloves. And also, as you're preparing, you want to go ahead and preheat your oven to 200. I'm using a cast iron skillet. If you're using that, if you're not using that, you don't have to worry about that. You can omit that step. All right, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and add your potatoes to a pot. You want to cover them with water, and you're going to boil them just enough for when the fork is able to pierce through them. Not too much. It's not mashed potatoes. Just enough when the fork is able to start going through the potato, because we're going to switch them over to a skillet and they're going to continue cooking, so you don't need to be completely done. Just a little bit. Alright, so go ahead and boil your potatoes and I'll be back. Alright, so while the potatoes are boiling, I'm going to go ahead and saute the onions and pepper and garlic. So add a tablespoon of sunflower oil. Alright, get your peppers in there. Get your onions and peppers in the skillet. Let them cook or saute for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then you're going to add your minced garlic. That only needs to cook for about a minute. It doesn't need to cook that long. If it does, it'll burn. Also add a little bit of salt and pepper. After you add your salt and pepper, give it a nice little stir. And just let that cook, like I said, about 2 to 3 minutes. And then we'll come back and check it and add the minced garlic. Alright guys, it's been about 2 minutes. I let the peppers and the onions cook down. I just added, if you can see right there, I just added the minced garlic. And I'm just going to let that cook for about a minute and a half. Like I said before, you do not want to cook that too long. The minced garlic, it will burn. So that's why you added it last. And so you're just going to let that cook for a little bit. And then you're going to turn the eye off. But either way, I'm cooking it on medium heat. But after you cook, let the minced garlic cook for a little bit, you're going to turn the eye off and let this skillet sit off to the side, because you'll come back to it and add this mixture to the potatoes toward the end. Alright, this is done. It smells great. Like I said, it's all done, so we're going to set out to the side. You don't need to do anything else to it. We'll come back to it when the potatoes are done cooking. This is the last ingredient that we add to the potatoes. Alright, here are the potatoes. I just turned the eye off. They just finished cooking. It was about 5 to 7 minutes. Here's an example of what I was telling you about. You want the fork to be able to pierce the potato. It's not all the way done, but it's kind of starting to, but you don't want that, because again, it hasn't finished its cooking process, because you have to put them in a skillet, and when it goes in the skillet, it's going to finish cooking all the way through. But you want your potato to be something like this. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to drain the potatoes, and then we're going to bring them back to the pot and add the lid and let some of the water evaporate on the eye for about 1 to 2 minutes. And then we'll throw them in a skillet to brown. Alright, so I've drained the potatoes. I've just put them back in the pot. I'm going to turn the eye back on to like medium heat for about 1 to 2 minutes to help evaporate the rest of the water from the potatoes. You can do this step, you can omit this step. I just believe it helps with them browning in the skillet better. So you can do this if you want. Alright guys, I am finna start browning the potatoes. I got the skillet, I did let it preheat in the oven at the temp of 200 just so it can be already warm. The skillet is on medium high heat. I'm going to add in some oil, enough to coat the pan or to cover the pan, like that, maybe a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to add the potatoes. Be very careful when you're adding the potatoes. You don't want the grease to pop on you. You will feel it. So just go slow when you're adding the potatoes. I find it best to add them all to one area first, like this. Let me show you. Add them to one area first. This right here will help with them popping all over, with the grease popping. Alright, it's so many potatoes, you can go ahead and spread them out. I have a few more left in the pot that I'm going to try to get in here. Alright, after you get all your potatoes, in, try to spread them out a little bit as best as you can, because my skillet is pretty full. And now this is the fun part. You have to have patience. So every 5 minutes you want to come and stir your potatoes, because after every 5 minutes they should have a nice golden brown on them. So you want to just do it every 5 minutes. So right now I'm going to go ahead and wait about 5 minutes, and I'll come back and I'll show you how they're starting to brown. Alright, it's been 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and do my first turn or flip with the potatoes. Some of them started to brown, not many. But like I said, this required a lot of patience. The more potatoes you have, the longer it's going to take. So you're just going to have to keep coming back and checking on within 5 minutes or so. So since I have a lot, it's going to take a while. But I promise it's worth it. There's no instant gratification over here. Patience is a virtue. So again, I'm gonna get a nice stir going or flip, and then I'm gonna come back and check them in 5 minutes again. All right, I'm back. I'm checking the potatoes again. Gonna give them a nice flip, and they're starting to brown a little bit more. Like I said, this process is going to take a while, so I'm just going to continue to let them cook for 5 minutes and continue to come back and check them. So I'm going to let them cook, and I'll come back when they're pretty much all brown and show you the ending result. It's been about 15 minutes in the cooking process of me browning the potatoes. I also want to tell you guys, if your oil gets low, it's okay. Don't hesitate. Add some more to help the rest of the potatoes brown and cook. So like I said, it's been about 15 minutes so far. I'll come back since they're almost done browning. I'll be back shortly. Alright, I'm back. Majority of my potatoes are brown. I'm good with this. So I am going to go ahead and go to the next step. If you want your potatoes to be brown, like more browner than this, continue to do the 5-minute step that I was telling you about, where you set 5 minutes on the timer and come back and check them after 5 minutes. So you want to keep doing that, that's fine, but I'm pretty good with how my potatoes are mostly brown. So the next thing I'm going to do is add my seasoning and the peppers and onion mixture. So first I'll go ahead and add in the pepper and onion mixture. Alright, after you get your onion and pepper mixture put in, go ahead and add in your seasoning. I have salt and pepper. Remember to season to taste, so however you like for your potatoes to taste. I have chili powder. You can just add a little seasoning now, let them cook or simmer, and then you can come back and add more seasoning if you need to. I have oregano. I have garlic powder. And it's important you add your seasoning at the very end, after your potatoes are brown like you like them, because if you add your seasoning earlier in the process, you risk burning your seasoning. So that will mess up your skillet, and yeah, so try to remember to add your seasoning at the very end. Onion powder. And I also have Italian seasoning. Alright, get this all stirred up, and then I'm going to let this simmer for maybe about 5 minutes, and then we can plate it. Alright, this is what it looks like after you get all your seasoning mixed in. And like I said, I'm going to let this sit for like 5 minutes just so all the seasoning can just absorb onto the potatoes. And then after that, I will be back to plate it and give it a taste test. Alright guys, here's the finished product of the skillet, or the herb and skillet potatoes. It turned out beautiful. It smells wonderful. You can't go wrong with this dish. This dish actually is one of my favorites. I like it. You can just eat it. You can eat it whenever, like lunch or breakfast, lunch or dinner, or a snack, a side meal, or like a side, or that would be your actual whole meal. All right, so we're gonna get ready to pray. Bow your head. Dear God, thank you for this food. Thank you for the opportunity to make something delicious. I ask you to watch over me. I ask you to watch over the viewer. I ask you to let us continue to prosper. I ask you to continue to guide our steps. And let us continue to have an amazing day. Amen. Alright, I'm going to put some ketchup on here. I like a lot of ketchup. All right, I'm excited. This is just, I know it's good. So I encourage anybody who's considering making this, go ahead, go get the potatoes, go get all the ingredients, and get to it. Going in for a second bite. Got the pepper. This is good. This is my ideal of comfort food. Like this, just the spices, the garlic, the onions, it all comes together. It's really good. So I just want to say, remember to always be cool no matter the circumstances. I asked you to comment down below one thing you're grateful for. Also comment if you decide to make this dish, how it turned out. Please subscribe, share, and continue to be great. And until next time, thanks for watching.